Hello all. In this session, we are going to deal with the module 4, that is global environmental concerns. In that, first one is acid rain. Acid rain is defined as a type of precipitation with a pH that is unusually low, that is maybe approximately of 5.6 at the typical atmospheric concentration of CO2, and therefore the pH of less than 5.6 has sometimes been used as a definition of the acid rain. And also acid rain is the acid deposition in broad term that includes a form of precipitation which acidic components such as sulfuric or nitric acid that falls to the ground from the atmospheric and to the wet or the dry forms. And also it include maybe snow or fog or any even dusters which is acidic. And this acid rain is, as I said, it's a precipitation content. So the acid rain results with sulfuric acid, sulfuric dioxide, and also nitrogen dioxide, which are emitted into the atmosphere and also transmitted by the wind or air current. And also the SO2 and NOH reacts with water, oxygen, or any other chemical to form a sulfuric acid. And the burning of fossil fuels to generate electricity or vehicles and also the heavy equipments, and also this manufacturing oil refineries and other industries. Because of this, the wind can blow, and also the SO2 and NOx were over large distances and also across borders, making the acid rain a problem for everyone and also not just those who live close to their sources. And also the causes, the principal cause of this acid rain would be that sulfuric and nitrogen components from human sources such as electricity generation, factories and cycles, and the coal power plants that are one of the most polluting, and also the gases can be carried hundreds of kilometers in the atmosphere before they are converted to the acids and deposited. And also the factories used to have the short funnel to the to let out all the smoke, but this caused us many problem, like factories have no longer smokes funnels. And also the problem with these is those pollutants get carried far off, and which is created more destructive. And also, what are the effects of the acid rain? Like acid rain can also damage to the certain building materials and historical monuments. So acid rain can cause weathering on the ancient and valuable statues, and also cause the considerable damage. And acid rain is a popular term which is referring to the deposition of mixture from wet, that is wet means rain, snow, or any other cloud water, and dry, that is acidic components which is liquids with a pH less than 7 of the are acidic, and those which is greater than 7 are alkaline. And clean or unpolluted rain has an acidic pH, but usually no lower than the 5.7 because of the carbon dioxide, and also the water in the air react together to form a carbonic acid. A weak acid according to the other similar reasons. And also acid rain can also damage the certain buildings, as I said. And also the rain causes an increased rate of oxidation of iron. And also in the acid rain can cause weathering on ancient and valuable statues that cause considerable damage, because the sulfuric acid in the rain chemically reacts with calcium compounds in the stone, which is limestone, sandstone, marble, and the granite, to create the gypsum, which then flakes off. And what are the control measures to avoid the acid rain? That is, increase efficiency of power plants that can burn the coal in order to reduce the waste that contains sulfuric dioxide and nitrogen oxide. Increase the penalties on the industries that do not meet the air pollution guidelines. So the air pollution guidelines, they'll be fixing the air pollution guidelines. So if the any industries, if they are not meeting up to the point, so then will be increase the penalties may lead to the good encouragement to to reduce the air pollution, and also increase the tax incentives to the industries that do not meet the guidelines, and also use the alternative energy sources, like increasing the funding for alternative energy sources. For example, give the tax incentives to buyers of hybrid cars, and provide tax incentives to companies that use alternative energy sources, and design the more efficient automobile engines in order to reduce the nitrogen oxide emission. And next one is, what is ozone depletion? Okay, ozone depletion, that is ozone layer is an like kind of an umbrella of 24 kilometer, that is 15 miles from the Earth's surface, an essential component of the stratosphere, and also that absorbs short wavelength ultraviolet radiation from the sun, heating the gases of the stratosphere in the process. And also this ozone depletion, gradual thinning of the ozone layer in the upper atmosphere caused by the release of chemical compounds containing gaseous chlorine, and the thinning is most of the popular, that is in the polar region, especially over Antarctica. And also this is a reason the temperature raises with increasing altitude in the stratosphere, and also the reason life was able to move out of the ocean and also to the land, that evolving into the diverse biospheres which we know today. And also one of the important questions for internals and also the exams, that is ozone World Ozone Day is celebrated on September 16th on every year. And also stratospheric ozone is measured in DU, that is Dobson units, named after GMB Dobson. One Dobson unit, it is 0.01 mm thickness of stratospheric ozone, and average ozone thickness in stratosphere is 300 DU, and when it fails below 200 DU, like it is considered as an ozone hole, and it is thinnest around equator and also the thickest around near the poles. And also the causes of the ozone depletion, that is ozone depletion occurs like when chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFCs, and also the gases which is formerly found in the aerosol spray cans or any other refrigerants are released into the atmosphere. And so the ozone depletion is caused by the release of, as I said, CFCs, that is chlorofluoroforms, and other ozone depleting substances which were used widely as a refrigerants, like installing foams and solvents. And the breakdown of ozone, like the breakdown of ozone in the stratosphere results in reducing in the absorption of ultraviolet radiation, and consequently like unabsorbed and dangerous ultraviolet radiation is able to reach the Earth's surface at a higher intensity. So ozone levels have dropped by the worldwide average of about 4% since the 1970s. We can observe like 4% it got reduced. Okay, what would be the effects of the ozone depletion? This is increasing the surface UV leads to increased tropospheric ozone, which is health risk to humans. So the increased surface UV also represent an increase in the vitamin D synthetic capacity of sunlight, and the higher energy UV radiation absorbed by ozone is generally accepted to be a contributory factor for the skin cancers and all. So because definitely it is our body is directly exposed to the nature, so maybe there is chances of contributory factor for the skin cancer, and a higher energy UV radiation absorbed by ozone is generally accepted to be the contributory factor for the skin cancer. And also, what will be the control measures for this acid rain? In 1987, the Montreal Protocol was signed and the signatory nation committed themselves to a reduction in the use of CFCs and other ozone depletion substances. But since that time, the treaty has been amended to ban the CFC production after 1995 in the development countries, and later it is developing. Like by the today, like 160 countries have signed this treaty, and also we can't make enough ozone to replace what's been destroyed. But provided that we stop producing the ozone depleting substances, like natural ozone production reaction should return to the ozone layer to the normal levels by about 2050. It is 2050. Thank you.